equity, mate.
I will say this about investing. Everything you do learn is cumulative. What I learned at 20 is useful.
Welcome to another episode of Equity Mates, a podcast that follows our journey of investing. Whether you're an absolute beginner or approaching Warren Buffett status, our aim is to help break down your barriers from beginning to dividend. My name is Bryce, and as always, I'm joined by my equity buddy, Ren. How are you going?
I'm very good, Bryce. Great to be with you for our final recording session of the year.
2021, what a year.
What a year. Kind of glad it's done, to be honest. Looking forward to a break.
Yes.
We really phoned in our last Monday episode, and I could just feel that the wheels were slowly falling off the car.
Well, we're going to bring a lot of gusto for this episode, close the year out on a high by reviewing our stock of the year and our bold predictions that we put on the line at the start of the year.
Yeah, but we don't have to spend a lot of time on the stock of the year
Yes,
because
we
we
do
have a lot of bold predictions to get to. But before we do that, we might be taking a break, but the content train keeps on rolling. It cannot be stopped. It will push through any situation. And we have our 2021-2022 summer series back for the third installment of our summer series.
Something like that.
Real fixture in the calendar. There's the Ashes, there's Christmas, and the Equity Mates summer series.
That's it. Starting next Monday here on Equity Mates Investing Podcast, we're going to be diving into 12 companies, both from here in Australia and over in the US. And in some instances, we've been lucky enough to have the CEOs join us. So for the next 6 weeks, don't go anywhere because there's some awesome companies coming up. Over on Get Started Investing as well, we're going to be doing 6 episodes hearing from our community members and talking about some of their investing stories. And You're in Good Company are also breaking down some of the basics of investing over the summer as well. So plenty still to listen to.
Yeah, and we have got some big hitting CEOs this year. I'm going to name 3 companies that we cover. We've got the CEO for one of them. You have to guess which one it is.
Oh, I know which one it is.
We've got Atlassian.
Yes.
We've got REA Group, and we've got Airbnb.
And Peloton.
Well, no, it's just the game was going to be one of those 3 companies we've got the CEO in.
Yeah, pretty amazing, Ren. Additionally, we're giving away $12,000 over summer thanks to Superheroes. So stay tuned on each episode as to how to do that. $2,000 a week. So it's going to be a pretty amazing summer.
It is. But let's get stuck into it. We'll do a brief recap of stock of the year, but there's not a lot of interesting content there. And then we got bold predictions, both that we made. Then we went to the community at the start of the year, both our Facebook discussion group, and then we had people write or record themselves and we played them. So we got a lot of bold predictions to get through. So this is the time of the year that Bryce Lesky looks forward to every year. The most one-sided competition since like the first round of the FA Cup English football, where you see like a Manchester United playing a third-rate English park football team.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what this competition has devolved into. Stock of the year, Bryce Lesky's moment. Take it away.
Thanks, Ren. Look, it has been a thoroughly enjoyable year watching Roblox, which was my pick at the start of the year. Absolutely shoot the lights out. You've obviously not been watching my stock because you've been watching.
I've heard all about the metaverse. Facebook bloody changed their name to be more aligned with where Roblox is heading. They've been in the zeitgeist this year. They
have been, and look, they're up 63% from where we picked it at the start of the year.
Well, had they IPO'd?
No.
Yeah,
so
I were taking them from wherever they IPO'd.
Yeah, I took the gamble, and my stock of the year, hadn't even listed when we actually did the prediction, and it had a pretty good start to the year, then sizzled for a little, and then the explosion of the chat around the metaverse and also the explosion of users on the platform has really driven Roblox to its heights of today, which is up 63% from its IPO price.
Yeah. Have you played it?
No, I actually.
Yeah, you see, this is the thing, start of the year, we asked that question and you had it.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about signing up to the Sandbox, which I think is a competitor, but that's only because of this Axie Infinity stuff that's going on. But anyway, that's something else. But I definitely should. We definitely should. I will make sure over summer I sign up. How's that for a deal? Yeah.
You won't do it.
And see what the deal is.
Bryce, if if people have listened to our interview with, I think it was Yen Liao, or maybe it was with Benit. Yeah, Bryce made a joke about only doing 4 minutes of due diligence before investing, and it did not land at all.
I think it landed.
This is another example. But look, the numbers speak for themselves. You up 63%. Full credit.
Thank you. The numbers for Roblox as well, this is just from their third quarter reporting, but it's pretty amazing. Average daily active users, 47 million daily active users. So we spoke about it at the start of the year, and that's up 31%.
There you go.
So yeah, keen to see how it pans out next year. But Ren, Tencent?
Yeah, so I picked Tencent, the Chinese internet giant, owners of WeChat, amongst everything else, the platform upon which so much of the Chinese internet is built, with some massive companies built on top of it, Meituan, Pinduoduo, but also the venture capital powerhouse that owns stakes in over 700 companies, including Tesla, Spotify, Afterpay, Roblox, and a bunch of others. I thought, I've lost stock of the year 2 years before this. This is a tech stock that is trading at a decent valuation and is just everywhere. And then the Chinese government steps in and says, hold my beer. And so Tencent's down 22%. Not as bad as like Alibaba's down over 50%.
Yeah, it has been worse for Tencent this year.
Yeah, well, it started well. But yeah, it's since sort of February, China has been on the downtrend. So 3 years in a row, I lose this game. I'm going to pick something super vanilla next year, like S&P 500 index.
All right, well, we've got the summer to think about it, but I'm happy to take the win again. My moment will come where I don't, and you'll be basking in the glory. So let's think about it over summer. But Ren, let's turn to our bold predictions because we made a lot.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to get through here. Some panned out. Many didn't. And then we've also got some of the bold predictions from the Equity Mates Facebook group, as you said. So, Ren, you predicted that the Fed's balance sheet would increase to over $10 trillion, and I took that bet.
You did. And it increased. It increased to 8.7 trillion. And honestly, what's 1.3 trillion between mates?
Yeah, not a lot. So I win that.
You win that. It increased, but not that much.
Yes.
You made the very specific bold prediction. We should proceed with a caution sign.
Was that a prediction?
Yeah, it's in quotes. And then
surely that wasn't a prediction. That was just I'm going to throw this out as a way to couch this conversation.
But I just find it funny that that's the first dot point in quotation marks, starting the year with a proceed with caution sign. Then the next line is the S&P 500 and the ASX 200 will both be up over 15%.
Yeah, I read through a lot of
caution.
Yeah, I read through a lot of my predictions and they do contradict each other.
Yeah. Hey, that's the best way to play this game because then something will be right.
Yeah. So
no one bats 100 here.
But did you take that? Like, is that even a?
Yeah, I took it. Yeah, S&P 500 is up 27%, so well over the 15%. But one of your recent gripes in the office is how boring the ASX 200 is.
I know, so boring.
Pretty late to that party, but it's something
I'm
that's really
just reminding everyone. I'm reminding everyone who's forgotten.
Okay, yeah. And in the spirit of the ASX 200 being boring, it's only up 11%. So it didn't hit the 15%.
Oh, I guess it's playing to average.
Yeah, you'd be very happy if you got 11% a year for a while.
Not this year. If you could have got 28%.
True. Okay. Anyway,
so you took that.
I took that. So
that's a win for you.
Yeah.
All right, Ren. You then came in to say that Netflix share price will finish the year down.
Yeah, very bold.
I was on the fence. I said Apple might come up with a overarching service, and I remember, there was talk of oversaturation in the market, and You really took that bet at the wrong time because Netflix was up 17% the night before we recorded that episode.
So that didn't count.
It didn't count. Yeah.
So that maybe that was the last throes of a.
True.
It wasn't.
No. So unfortunately, Netflix is up 6.7% for the year.
But American inflation is running hot. So inflation adjusted, you would say that Netflix is flat.
Yeah, so not down. So still you lose.
Mate, actually, sorry. Inflation is about 7%, so we'll say it's down.
But close, but no cigar. Sorry, Ren.
Okay, I don't really know how we're keeping score here because you didn't even take that prediction. You just started talking about Apple.
I sat on the fence. Well, I'm going to highlight that as orange.
Who cares? Let's just go through them.
I'm taking score.
But you don't get a point for that.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. No. All right, so Bryce is feeling confident. Next one from you. Oh, this was such a bull prediction. Bryce predicts a central bank will form its own cryptocurrency. I then explained that it already has happened.
And then I excluded China.
Yeah, and I'm pretty confident it has happened ex-China as well. And since then, it's obviously happened.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of talk about it all around the world.
We even had Frydenberg most recently come out and say that Australia are going to dip their toes in the digital
central
currency.
bank digital currencies.
Yeah. Can't give it.
I think it's
pretty
just,
loose.
Just call it a push.
So, Ren, I like this one. You said Macquarie Group will break into the big four bank territory in terms of market cap. As much as I love Macquarie, I took this bet. Macquarie at the time was valued at around 50 billion. Smallest of the banks at the time was ANZ at 70 billion. So it needed to make up about 20 billion in market cap. As of the 7th of December, Macquarie was valued at 75.6, ANZ 77, and Westpac 76 billion. So just missed out.
No, I said into the territory.
Oh,
dude, come on.
Okay. I mean, if we're playing that game, it did make it into Big Four bank territory. I took it as it would replace one of the four.
No.
But yeah, you're right.
It becomes number 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they need to start talking about the Big Five.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they probably won't, but yeah.
Okay. Fair call. I'll give that to you on the wording.
I didn't get a lot right, but that one I feel I nailed. I also think I could probably go back over the last few months and find a point where Macquarie was above one of them.
Potentially, yeah. It's just been going gangbusters.
All right, next one from you, Bryce. This has caused a bit of consternation off mic before, but Bryce predicts the technology sector will be bumped from the number 1 performing sector and will be replaced by industrials, including construction, transportation, business services, waste management. Within that, airports, consulting staff, and employment services, etc.
Jeez, I was
put
very
that on
specific.
put that on a Christmas card.
Yeah.
So basically, you were banking on the reopening trade, like the post-COVID rebound in industrials, and you were expecting technology to be
cool a bit.
Yeah. And I think the spirit of that trade is definitely right. Like, we've seen all of those second-tier technology stocks fall off in the US, and we've seen a reopening trade sort of happen, maybe not to the strength that some people expected, but it's sort of happened. So I think in the spirit of it, you were right. But then you said you weren't actually talking about US tech. You were talking about Australian tech. And then
I was talking about Australian, not just blanket.
Yeah, okay. And then you've pulled out a bunch of different numbers here. And the long and the short of it is you've kind of played yourself because you said basically industrials had to get to number 1 for you to win the bet. And consumer discretionary has shot the lights out.
Absolutely shot the lights out. And the industrials and tech actually ended up pretty even. So look, yeah, it's consumer shot the lights out. Financials did a lot better. But I wasn't fully correct on it becoming the number 1 performing sector. However, it wasn't the tech sector. So I don't know how you want to award that, Ren.
Well, I get the point because it wasn't number 1.
Fair call.
But I think that's a lesson in the phrasing of the bold prediction is important.
Yeah. What I didn't anticipate was the reopening would then lead to so many consumers going crazy.
Who would have thought?
24% growth in the consumers, in consumer discretionary.
All right.
So, Ren, you predicted that in 2021, China's Big Five will outperform the US Big Six in tech. Now, you had 10-cent bold prediction at the start of the year.
Stock of the year.
Stock of the year,
Yeah,
and you had China. You were really bullish on China. I took that prediction.
So just so people understand, when I was talking about the Big Six in US tech, that was Fan Mag, which was Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Microsoft, Amazon, Google.
Yes.
And then the big five in China, Tencent, Alibaba, JD.com, Pinduoduo, and Meituan.
Yes.
The Chinese big five all got smashed to differing degrees.
No news to anyone.
Don't even need to look at the numbers. So FanMag is now outdated because the companies have changed a little bit. Like Netflix needs to get the flick. It's like it's a $300 billion market cap company and everything else is like $1 trillion.
Yeah.
Tesla needs to come in.
Yeah.
Nvidia needs to come in. It's about 800 bill and it is just shooting the lights out. We need to come up with a new acronym. The letters that we have to play with are 3 A's, 2 M's, an N and a T. So it's like Tan Mama.
Yeah, Tan Mama.
Ant Mama.
Ant Mama. Ant Mama.
Mama.
Nice, you heard it.
Mama Ant.
Ant Mama, you heard it here first. All
so
right.
if anyone can think of a good acronym that we
I
can
think
really
Ant Mama's good.
we can really coin as the Equity Mates acronym.
Let's coin it. Ant Mama. All right, nice. All right, so that's a point to you, Ren.
No.
Oh, sorry, a point to me because I took that. What's next?
Next one from you, I think, is one you got right. Oh, yeah. Bryce predicts house prices in Sydney will exceed 12%.
Yeah, that's, crazy.
Double it and you would have been right.
Yeah. So then, so that's a point. Did you take that?
I think I took it in the spirit of the game.
Okay.
The note here is Ren takes the prediction with, quote, no view on property.
Okay.
So I probably really wanted to sit on the fence.
Okay. All right. Well, you had a sub prediction to this China's big five outperforming.
Sub predictions don't count.
Yes, they do. You said that Tencent, currently valued at $800 billion, will be China's first $1 trillion publicly traded company. And I did not take this bet.
Hold on.
Yeah.
But I didn't put a time limit on it.
Well, we know it's this year.
No, it still could be China's first $1 trillion company.
Yes, but in the spirit of the game, it was for these 12 months. I didn't take the bet, though. Good news for you. So I'll just keep pushing on then. DoorDash for you, Ren. And this is something that we were talking a lot about at the start of the year and didn't really pick it up. But DoorDash will have a higher market cap than Uber.
Yeah.
I took this prediction.
So at the time, DoorDash was a $60 billion company. Uber was a $108 billion company. You won this one. I was wrong, but they did start to converge, which I just thought they would actually converge. So around the time of recording, or a couple of days ago when we pulled these numbers, Uber has fallen from 108 billion to 75. And then DoorDash has fallen a little bit, but not as much, from 60 billion to 55 billion.
Yeah.
So the gap has massively shrunk. And obviously, all of these unprofitable tech companies are getting whacked. So for DoorDash to only be down 5, that's okay. The problem is that just no one can get this business model to work profitably. Yeah. Benit at the Hearts and Minds conference pitched Delivery Hero, which I thought was incredibly brave because, again, last mile delivery of food.
Well, have you seen the explosion here in Australia, in Sydney, of those
of the 15-minute deliveries,
or less?
Milk run and stuff like that?
Yeah, but there's like every day on Instagram, there's a new one. It's like unbelievable.
So DoorDash have announced over in the States that they're getting into that milk run, 15 minutes. There are others other than milk run, but that's the only one I know.
Yeah.
The interesting thing there is because the model is so tight in terms of time. So like the beauty of the promise of these delivery platforms is a two-sided marketplace, incredibly capital light because it's restaurants that they don't own and riders that they don't employ. And they just use their platform to coordinate. Like that's the promise of these platforms. But DoorDash, in trying to move to the 15-minute model, are employing all their riders. So now it all of a sudden becomes own your warehouse, own your inventory, employ your riders. It now just becomes like a retail delivery business.
Employ your riders.
Yeah.
You just want to employ absolute weapons on the bike.
Yeah. Yeah. Mate, you could get a job over there.
Well, I could, yeah. All right. Well, I feel like this is a watch this space. Yeah, pretty exciting. Now, Ren, before we move on, let's just take a really quick break to hear from our sponsors.
All right, Bryce. So we are about halfway through our bold predictions. I have no idea what the score's up to. You seem to want to keep track, so maybe you can give us an update at some point. But your next one, and this is one that you've absolutely nailed, Bryce predicts Zoom bombs and underperforms, finishing the year lower. And finish the year lower it did, down 48%. year to date.
Nice one. But I think that's also in line with a lot of the other second-tier tech stocks that we're seeing as well. Absolutely bombing out. But love to see it.
Yeah, it's been right in the middle of the second-tier tech stocks falling and the reopening trade and people going back to work. But it's still a pretty interesting business. Like, I just don't see the competitive advantage for Zoom over Microsoft Teams or Google Meet or anything like that. When your core product that you need to monetize is something that your bigger competitors can just throw out for free, that's a tough business to be in. But apparently it's cash flow positive. It's not profitable, but it's got a heap of cash on the balance sheet, and I think it's got some good talent. So you never know. The story of the founder is pretty epic. When he quit one of those big like Intel or IBM or whatever to start Zoom, like his whole division or like most of his division that worked for him quit to join him.
Oh, wow.
Because they
That's
just
what
loved
you want.
working for him so much. Yeah.
Follow the leader.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. All right, Ren, well, you predicted that in 2021, it will be a good year for the UK. The UK stock market will actually outperform all major European markets. Unfortunately, I did not take this prediction.
I mean, the UK was pretty good, up like 11%, which is pretty good for England.
The UK market's not far behind at the ASX in my eyes. It's got some great companies, but man, it just doesn't seem to kick it as much as the US.
But look, the DAX, the German, is up about 14. So,
okay. Well, luckily I didn't take that.
Yeah.
All right. Only a couple to go.
Wait, no. Not lucky that you didn't take it because I was wrong.
Oh, true. I should have taken it. Yeah.
God, this game can be confusing.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. Bryce predicts Airbnb will be larger than the top 5 global hotel chains.
Yeah.
And we listed them. Marriott, Las Vegas Sands, Hilton, Intercontinental, and Huazhu. So at the start of the year, Airbnb's market cap was $97 billion. It had a bit of chasing to do. Combined, I think those 5 from memory were in the high 100s, low 200s. Like it was.
Yeah.
It
had a lot of work to do.
A lot of work to do. It was bold. Now Airbnb, $114 billion. Those 5 hotel groups market cap combined $141.
Okay.
So close, but didn't make it.
No cigar.
Yeah.
No cigar. I was planning on a very bullish year for Airbnb, and it didn't quite pan out.
Yeah. Delta really threw a spanner in the works. Yeah. All right. What have you got for me?
So, Ren, you have predicted that the best IPO of 2021 would be one of our favorite companies, and that is Stripe.
Honestly, I reckon I get this because even though it didn't IPO, the amount of hype that the potential IPO gets is still bigger than any other IPO.
Right. Introducing a new rule, you're allowed one carryover prediction. Is this going to be
100%. Yeah. You can't take, and you have to take it.
I did not take the bet, which I should have. Yeah, because it didn't IPO.
Yeah.
So it didn't IPO, and we're keen to see what happens with it in 2022.
Yeah. All right, next one. Bryce predicted Apple will reach $3 trillion valuation. Was $2.2 trillion. Apparently, I took it without question, which I'm...
Wow.
Yeah. There you go. So at the time of recording, Apple is $2.87 trillion. Close.
How close?
But no cigar.
Wow. So we're going to see that next year, I would imagine.
Put you on the spot. Bold prediction. Apple is 2.87.
And it never hits it.
No.
Hits 3 next year.
Oh, wow. I was about to say Apple is 2.87 and I just was going to look at Microsoft and I was going to say which one hits 3 trillion first.
Apple.
Microsoft's come off. It's 2.5. It's cheap.
Soft.
Wow, there you go. All right, let's keep ripping through these.
All right, well, Ren, this is your last one.
What? You got 3 to go.
Oh, well, do you want to rip through a couple of those? I only have one more for you.
Classic Bryce getting more predictions.
Just choose a couple then.
No. Let's do them all. They're good. Roblox will be the best performing IPO of 2021. I don't know if you were right about this, but I didn't take it. Okay. So let's not worry about it. This is the big one. This is the one that you really pinned a lot of your hopes and dreams to. Bryce predicts Bitcoin to reach 90,000
AUD
US dollars by the end of the year. Who talks about crypto in AUD? You got to price it in USD, and you did not get there. There was times throughout the year where we thought it was going to happen. If you went on Bitcoin Twitter, they thought it was going to happen.
I'm going to carry that. No, I'm not.
No, you should. That should be carried over.
No. I'm just no.
I reckon you should carry over your AFL prediction.
We're up to AFL stage, the final predictions of the year for us, and I predicted that. You predicted, Ren, that the Gold Coast Suns will win a final for the first time. They battled throughout the year. There was a lot of pressure on them and on their chairman, their coach, some of the senior players, and unfortunately, they did not even make the finals.
Maybe I'll carry it over that the Hobart Suns will win a final.
So I didn't take that bet. I must have been a bit delirious by the end of recording this episode.
No, because remember, there was a lot of hope for Gold Coast. Matty Rowell, Stewie Jew.
Anyway, I'm very disappointed in myself, just as I am in the prediction that you're about to say to close this out.
Bryce, the apparently mad Essendon Bombers fan, had a poster of James Hird on his wall growing up as a kid.
Still do.
Has a poster of James Hird as a coach on his wall. The mad Bombers fan predicts that the Bombers would win the wooden spoon.
How pathetic.
Would come last in the competition.
How pathetic. I was going in with low expectations.
Of little faith.
And we made the finals.
Yeah.
How good.
So I get a point for that.
You get a point for that.
And you get a lifetime of shame for that.
Some really interesting predictions there to close out the year, Ren. I think it would be pretty even. Maybe you came out just on top. I think I got about 4 of yours and then shot myself in the foot by not taking a few of the ones at the end where I would have come home with some. But I think you took the beers.
Yeah, maybe we do a social post about it.
Yeah.
So if you haven't been keeping track of the scores, we'll throw something up on Instagram when this episode's released.
That's it.
And if we don't throw something up on Instagram, it's because we're on holidays.
No hard feelings, yeah.
All right, let's rip through because we have more bold predictions to go. We went to the Equity Mates Facebook group and asked them some questions. So let's see if the crowd was right or wrong. And if you want to jump in to the Facebook group and keep the conversation going over summer, head across. There's a lot of great conversation going on there. First question. Don't know why we asked this as a first question. It feels like a pretty
It's because we just come off the back of Andrew Brown, I think.
Okay. Will politics play a big part in markets in 2021?
Yes.
Trust me, they get better. Bold prediction number 2 in 2021. Do you think you'll get better returns from the Australian market or the US market? The Equity Mates community on a almost over 2-to-1 basis, about 70% said the US, and the crowd was right as Bryce continues to gripe the Australian market's boring.
The Australian market is boring. Yes.
Number 3. What was number 3?
Number 3, will tech be the star performing sector again in Australia? And 2-to-1, the Equity Mates community were in favour of this, but we know that is not the case.
Yeah, consumer discretionary. And then finally we asked, who will win this year's stock of the year? Will Ren finally get a win on the board? About 75% of respondents said I would get the win. I love the support. I am sorry to let you down, but just wait until 2022. The S&P 500 pick is going to rip.
So, Ren, that brings us to the final episode for 2021. Some great bold predictions there from the community, or some answers there from the community. And a really fun way to finish what has been a really fun year for Equity Mates, a massive year for the Equity Mates network. And we just want to thank our Equity Mates community, you guys out there listening to us week in and week out and supporting us. We certainly could not be doing this without you. And, we're still amazed at the fact that we have so many of you tuning in each week. It's incredibly humbling. And we really look forward to hopefully providing you even more value, inspiration, and empower you to take the next step on your investing journey in 2022.
Yeah, it's been a great year. It's been a big year. We've done a lot, and the Equity Mates community has really made it all possible. New shows, book, terrible stock picks, all of it is possible because people listen to us for some reason that we don't quite understand why.
That's
so I really appreciate it. I hope everyone has a good summer. Hope everyone can get a break. And then we come back ready to go in 2022. There's a lot happening in markets, and we're excited to keep following it, keep learning about it, and keep sharing it.
That's it. So stick around over summer. We do have the summer series, 12 episodes, 12 companies, 7 CEOs, and also the opportunity to win $12,000 over the summer period thanks to Superhero. Tune into our Instagram page and also each of our episodes to find out how you can do that. But Ren, it's been an absolute pleasure. I've loved every moment of it, and looking forward to putting our feet up and re-energizing and coming back even better in 2022.
Can't wait.
Equity Mates Investing Podcast is a product of Equity Mates Media. All information in this podcast is for education and entertainment purposes only. Equity Mates gives listeners access to information and educational content provided by a range of financial service professionals. It is not intended as a substitute for professional finance, legal, or tax advice. The hosts of Equity Mates Investing Podcast are not financial professionals and are not aware of your personal financial circumstances. Equity Mates Media does not operate under an Australian Financial Services licence and relies on the exemption available under the Corporations Act 2001 in respect of any information or advice given. Before making any financial decisions, you should read the product disclosure statement and, if necessary, consult a licensed financial professional. Do not take financial advice from a podcast or video. For more information, head to the disclaimer page on the Equity Mates website, where you can find ASIC resources and find a registered financial professional near you. In the spirit of reconciliation, Equity Mates Media and the hosts of Equity Mates Investing Podcast acknowledge the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. We pay our respects to their elders, past and present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people today.